Welcome, my tarot friends, in yet another episode in our Under the Magnifying Glass series where we are looking at the Herbcrafter tarot. Today we are looking at our sixes. As always, we will firstly look at what sixes mean in tarot in general, and then we will journey into each card, and I will share with you my journey into each card and then what the guidebook says about each of them. So let's just dive in. Sixes in tarot represent balance, harmony and completion. They are a union of masculine and feminine, spirit and matter, fire and water, consciousness and unconsciousness, as above so below, as within so without. They symbolize harmony, integration, transition and expansion, cycle of completion and start of something new. They open the sixth sense of intuition. We find success, love, happiness, transformation and marriage within sixes. Portal between spirit and matter opens. 6 is a number of the heart and Christ consciousness. It brings integration, union, healing to the spiritual and physical selves. In the guidebook, it says that sixes represent bounty, community and magic. Community plays a big importance in the sixes. In sixes, we see plants that produce generously and they're used in community rituals. Again, community. They give profoundly to land, creatures, and the Herbcrafter in many different ways. The sixes bring the resolution to the conflicts that were encountered in the fives, and all this happens within the circle of your friends. We have connections to trees in this deck as well. In the threes, the Herbcrafter experience the confidence and productivity, and then in the sixes, this is magnified when she unites people for a greater cause. The Herbcrafter combines the skill of crafting a sacred space from the fours with meeting the challenges she encountered in the fives. Then she experiences the ritual works in the sixes and awakens to the power of community. How beautiful is that? So now let's just dive into firstly 6 of air. Cattail is the plant on the 6 of air, and I will read you what I've noticed or what stood out for me in the card first. So the first thing I noticed were the feathers here. And in many tarot decks, the feathers represent air. And we see that we have, if you count, we have 6 papers on the table. So that tells me that this is the 6 of air card. If I cut this off, I would manage to figure that out just from the picture. The blue sky at the back gives the feeling of openness. It feels like from the grass and cattail we can lift and soar in the sky. That is giving a feeling of freedom and optimism. It is very clear, there's barely any clouds on it. Also because of that, clarity of mind. We can notice that the feathers here belong to different species of birds. So that to me speaks of it representing, a possibility that these represent dealing with different thoughts. And we deal with these different thoughts through writing them down, and so releasing what needs to be released. Also, the fact that there are many feathers here to me speak about that you should not be doing this alone, that you should invite others, your group, your friends, to do this with you. We also see a table that is big, so that invites other people in your field. So you are not alone in this. We can also see that the sun is shining through, and that creates a warm, kind, positive feeling that everything will be okay. I know that the plant's cattail, that its seeds migrate around through the wind or via air. So that tells me to release our thoughts of our wishes, hopes out in the universe, to plant our seeds, our visions. If we look at the swamp here, it feels very full, very crowded, very full of thoughts, metaphorically. And then by writing those down, one can find clarity. And then if we look into the guidebook, it says the first 3 points are: question your assumptions, gain clarity by articulating your visions and in writing, support others in setting intentions of change. And that's literally what I just said, that sending out your seeds is basically planting your intentions of change. Then it talks about that, I didn't know this, that from this plant, cattail, you can actually make a paper. So you can make paper from it. I didn't know that. Cattail seems as an invasive, but in fact creates a stronger ecosystem by cleaning and purifying the area. Maybe that speaks about purifying our thoughts. Also open itself to new ways of prey or thinking. So maybe not all seems as it actually is. Adjust your expectations and challenge the way you think. Like cat's tail seeds are carried by the wind, trust spirit to carry your visions towards a greater good. I love how they focus on a greater good here, the community, and not just on an individual. And this is going throughout all the cards. And I feel the whole deck is very community, love, good for all focused. And I absolutely love this about this deck, because it is a very important thing in life, super important thing in life. And then it continues that cat's tail is used for many different things, for example, shelter, clothing, fuel, etc. And that says to us to be the resource of the spirit, look for many ways to be of service for the needs of others once again. I'm gonna read 2 crafting points here because I really like them. So write a prayer on a holy paper, then burn it, letting your prayers rise to heaven. And the second one is, on a new moon, meet up with friends and support each other in setting new intentions. What a wonderful card. This is probably the deepest 6 of Swords I have ever seen in tarot. Because usually what is portrayed on 6 of Swords is just someone in a boat or whatever, vehicle, whatever, you know, floating away or going away from the darkness into the sunlight. But this is so much deeper. I love this deck because of that, because every single card brings that depth and even gives us advice how to deal with things, you know, using the magic or the medicine of these plants that they offer us here. It's so good. So good. Okay, let's move to the next card. Next card is 6 of Fire, Nasturtium, and my observations about this card were, I noticed that the orange and red color are very profound here, and candles, and all that creates the feeling of a fire suit. We also have a burning candle here. We have 6 big candles, again 6 of fire, right? The orange flowers I associate with the sacral chakra, which is connected to expression, creativity, creation, and sacred feminine. Funnily enough, the sacred feminine is also connected to the devil card, which is then also connected to the number 6. Just a little side note, very interesting. The feel of this card is that it feels like a special ritual is taking place. We have handmade candles, we see glitter on the table, and again we have a table which invites, for me, more people to join in. So we're not alone doing this. We are doing this ritual, this magic, with a group of friends, perhaps, other people that are joining in. At the back, we have lush greenery, which invokes a sense of connectedness with the Mother Nature to me. I can imagine community coming together here, creating something magical together, and cheering each other up when they're crafting these things. It's a very positive, very exciting feel to this, and joyful feel to this picture. On top of that, the whole scene feels very sacred, you know, that positive, fiery, sacred, magical feel to this scene. And fire also speaks of transformation through magic. And now let's look what the guidebook says about this card. The 3 points are: celebrate yourself and others, call the circle, make some magic, glitter and spice, magnify power and joy. Because I believe that Nasturtium is a little bit spicy if you eat it. And then it continues explaining the card. So it says that a table is set for making spells with friends. And I felt something magical is about to take place here when I was, looking at this picture. A candle lit in the center of holy mess to mark the beginning of sacred time. Rise a little power for healing and transformation. And I was saying about fire being transformative. Cheer on your friends and praise their accomplishments like they do for you. So again, that reciprocity, giving and receiving. Even it doesn't need to be physical. It can be, positive thoughts, cheering, being recognized, etc. Nasturtium is a vibrant plant that brings life in the garden. It nourishes the soul and attracts the bees. Just like it, your ability to attract and bring people together creates magic. Very magical card. Claim your place as a community leader. Creativity ignites more creativity. So if you are creative, that ignites creativity in others as well. Nasturtium blossoms in many colors. Let your personal flair shine. Dance to your own beat while dancing in harmony with others. Oh my gosh, I love this so much about this deck. Oh, it makes my heart sing and feel warm feelings in it. And I'm going to read you one crafting point here. Add nasturtium petals to spell candles to increase their energy and strength. So like they did here. And now let's move to 6 of water, borage. What a beautiful, calm blue painting, isn't it? So nice. Let's go to my observations here. We notice that there's calm water at the back, and that creates a calm, content feel to this picture, and also speaks of the water suit here. We have 3 glasses here, and we have 3 vases here. So I think 2 vases and 1 jar. I think it's a jar. So we have 6, you know, bodies of water here. So 6 of water, right? The flowers of borage are blue, so I connect this to the throat chakra, and throat chakra is all about speaking and expression, talking, listening, being your authentic self, expressing your authentic self. Because we have more glasses here, that indicates that more people are coming together and sharing, communicating, listening to each other and enjoying themselves. And when I was looking at this picture, it really reminded me of 3 of water. I'm gonna put it here so you can see. So it feels like this children, there were children here I suppose because it's very childlike, now became adults and are coming together and talking about good times of the childhood, good times of the past, you know, feeling that love and joy and warm feelings of youth, you know. And yeah, I think this is done so beautifully here. So we have white cloth here on the table. Again, we have a table, again suggesting, you know, more people coming together. And because the white cloth is here, the white to me and generally represent clarity, represents purity, innocence, represents truth. We also see the goddess-like figure here that is also wearing white, right? And we have white flowers here. So we have a lot of white here. So that pure feeling, pure love-like feeling, I would say. Innocence, you know? On top of what I just said, this also tells me that these 3 friends have a real friendship here, a truthful, honest, pure, intentional friendship. We can see the sky here is very open and blue, which creates a feeling of an open space where one can be who they really are and allows themselves to dream as well. And now if you look at the guidebook, the first 3 points are: celebrate milestones, old and new. Freely give, freely receive. We again have that reciprocity. Let your heart be comforted by the company of friends. So that's nice, isn't it? And then it continues that the little girls, so it explains here actually that the little girls from 3 of water now come together to celebrate their maturity. So it's so well done, like without me reading the guidebook, I just connected this card to 3 of water immediately. So that tells you how well thought out this deck is. The borage speaks of importance of gathering with your friends because it lifts the spirits and sharing with them nourishes the soul. It asks us to treasure friendships and celebrate community. Again, community. It is important to express to your friends how much they mean to you, as this shows your honoring of them as well. Borage continuously flowers, so it gives away to pollinators for a long time and so creates a long-lasting relationship with them. That teaches us to give freely without expecting anything in return. So we can learn from borage, can't we? Drinks made with borage flowers lighten the mood and inspire a courageous heart. Let all tensions be dissolved and replaced with love. Embrace a carefree attitude and watch your joy expand. And then for crafting, I chose float borage flowers into your bath water to bring buoyancy to your spirit. And I'm going to read one more. Make borage in ice cubes for drinks at festive summer parties. Because this is how it looks like here. I suppose those ice cubes melted because of all the love. Okay, let's go to 6 of Earth now. So what I noticed in this card, if you look at the card, it is a little bit darker than the rest of the cards, isn't it? Very interesting. But yeah, so the first thing that I noticed again is a table. So we have a table on all 4 cards. Again, an invitation of more people coming together. The one thing that really stands out is the fire at the back. And we have these stones here, which again to me speaks of some sort of ritual, some sort of spiritual practice that feels grounding because of the nature and trees around it. And that, you know, it's nighttime, so also I can imagine there are stars. You can see a little bit here that there are stars, but they're not very obvious in the sky, and that's like that magical feel again, which all 4 cards have that magical feel, especially 6 of fire, but this one as well. It feels here like wishes are being written on the paper and then burned with pine cones or pine leaves to be released into the universe. So what you send out there comes back to you like prayers. They could also write things they want to release, what doesn't serve them anymore, and burn them away. So we can look at this writing down both ways, and this connects it to 6 of air as well. I know that the pine is evergreen tree, and that might speak of evergreen abundance or ever thriving health perhaps. The red strings stand out as well, and I connect this to root chakra and passion. So really meaning what you write down on this pieces of paper. And then of course, because the person is not doing it alone, they're doing it together in a community. So doing it together in community, supporting and helping each other with hopes and dreams. So that's the intention that is behind this, to do it together and again support each other, just like in other cards, which it's something that I got from just looking at this picture. And then if you look at the guidebook, it says ground yourself in community. Share your resources, your generosity will circle back to you. The soul remains evergreen. Oh, how beautiful is that? In the guidebook, it says that the time here is actually solstice. So this is definitely a spiritual practice. Life is generative. Share with friends and support each other in times of plenty and lack. And this is literally what I got from this as well. You can be writing about good things or not so good things, you know. Celebrate what you have. Pine is evergreen, providing medicine, shelter, etc. all year round. There it is, embodiment of everlasting life here. Like pine, be generous with those in need. Honor the people and the land that has provided you with the foundation, with the security and resources on which you now rely. Gather the community together and teach what you know. I love that. So it's not just giving physical things, you know, because 6 of earth is usually about giving and receiving. It's about giving knowledge as well. So giving to people what you know, sharing, that comes with 6 of earth. So share your abundance with others, but also be grateful for what you are provided with. Reciprocity and gratitude are at play here. And now if you look at the crafting, walk in the pine forest with your friends to release the old and make way for the new. Learn to weave pine needle baskets. So that's something I didn't know that you can do. To gather your bounty. And then the last one, drink tea made of freshly gathered pine needles for renewal and regeneration. And that's literally at the beginning I was talking about how 6 is about that. It's about regeneration and renewal. And now let's look at 2 major arcana cards here that go with the number 6. So we have the Lovers. I'm just gonna place them on top. We have the Lovers and we have the Devil here. So both, obviously this one is 6 and this one 1 plus 5 is also 6. So if you first look at the Lovers card, the Lovers come together, so that connects to people coming together like we have in all the cards. The Lovers share, they are in harmonious relationship, reciprocity within the union, and we see this in all 4 cards from before as well. So they exist in harmony, unity of the opposite energies, because we have opposite energies here. We have berries and we have flowers. We have thorns and we don't have thorns on one side. 6s are about transition, that is beautifully portrayed in this picture. Flowers transitioning into berries. And from berries then, when they fall on the ground, a new plant grows and then it blossoms again. So this beautiful circle of life. How gorgeously is that portrayed here? 6s represent a portal between spirit and matter. And it looks like these 2 are 2 portals intertwining in the scene. What is triggered in my thoughts here is also as above, so below. And if you pick up too many flowers in spring, that will then result in plant not having many berries, right? And that will affect how it then produces forward. Moderation, that is important here. And that brings us to the Devil card. We see the blackberry pie here that is very tempting. I feel this card screams of moderation, which, like I said before, connects it to the Lover's card beautifully about, you know, how many flowers you pick, etc. This Devil card also, I feel, encourages us to enjoy the fruits of life, to evoke our senses, because we see the spices here. If you have eaten blackberries in your life, you know that they're very flavorsome, like very sweet and sour, and that is like a very strong tastes. It also tells me to be cautious when indulging in the pleasures of life, as the blackberries have thorns, again relation to the Lover's card, but also we can see here spoons and cups, and that speak of the measurement of the importance of knowing how much is needed and what is over the top. So in moderation, this card offers us sweetness, harmony in life, but in indulgence, it shows us its thorns and urges us to be aware of what keeps us bound, as that same thing can set us free. And with that said, I am going to finish this episode today. What do you think of the cards? What have you noticed? Have you seen anything new that I haven't seen myself in these cards? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm always excited to read them. And I will see you again soon in another episode where we will be looking at number 7. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, whatever the time is where you are right now. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.